Alright, you literally just watched the finale. What is your impressions? I want your raw opinions before we do the introduction.
I thought it was incredibly cute. Almost cute enough to make you forget how shitty season 2 is. Especially with the ending with Rion, Kirinmaru, Kirin Sensei and whatnot. It's not that cute, but it is extremely cute.
Alright, I'm Annie.
I'm Minty.
And this is FunUntitled, where we serve every podcast with an FU. And we're going over the last episode of Yashahime, episode 48.
Season 2. The last season. Hope and pray to God.
I mean, it gotta. So, in this episode, they just literally wrap everything up. We see what every character is gonna do from now on. Riku's back for some reason. And, oh, my boy Hisui.
Towa and Riku can be canon if Setsuna Hisui becomes canon. I like that ship.
So, close of the episode. It's very cute. It just wraps everything up very nicely. The girls finally get a new outfit. And the fight in the beginning with Inuyasha, Moha, and Ice Entei, very well animated.
Yeah, what the hell?
My theory is that the person who was assigned those roles, worked overtime because they liked Inuyasha so much. And all the time they did far away shots, that's from someone phoning it in.
I like to think that it's just, this is going to be a lasting impression, so this is what you want to remember.
Alright, were there any cons of this episode in your opinion?
Riku coming back?
Yeah, that was not welcomed.
Right, and the whole disguise, and it was okay, whatever. Other than that, I think overall it was and the Shippo thing was weird, because he's teaching these raccoon dogs how to transform, and I'm like, but Takechiyo and Hachimaru can already do that, so what?
I had one big problem, but before I get into that and ruin the mood, do you think it's weird that Kogome and Rin, because of the situation, they're really close in age to when they gave birth to the kids?
Doesn't bother me. I think it's all about maturity more than an age or a number, you know?
Yeah, okay. Because man, I can't stop thinking how Rin is about 3 years older than the girls.
I mean, they're in the feudal age. It's you don't need that much back then. Life is so much more simpler. Now it's you gotta know finance and etiquette.
It's so funny how much Kogome's I lived in the modern world. My daughter will not have that.
They kept Moroha in depth so they could just have this whole nice wrap up of Moroha's no longer in depth and she's just gonna live free now.
So my one con, I don't know if you agree with me or not, I don't like how they spent about 1/3 of the episode justifying the writing. I did not need I felt 10 minutes of them explaining why Shishomu didn't help, and I'm I feel like Shishomu helped a lot. He's the one who defeated Kirinmaru in the end.
I feel it was just kind of obvious from the audience standpoint, and I don't know if we necessarily needed Toa and Setsuna to get that. I mean, I guess it is kind of important. It didn't have to be as long as it was. I don't know. I mean, it was cute because it was also because it was Moroha who helped them realize it, helped build the bonds that we never really got to see throughout the series, but we got to see it more in this episode.
Okay, so because if you wanted to spend a long time on something, we should have maybe spent some time making some things from episode 1 matter. This whole series could have been more about the rainbow pearls, which, by the way, in hindsight, I don't know what the red pearl did, because it seemed like that's just from the makeup to make Beniyasha, and instead of shifting it to Rion, who did not do anything for the story other than to bring back Riku's fine body, I guess.
Rion. Oh, no, that's what you mean. So I get the names confused all the time. I feel like Rion's a male name, that's why.
Because it sounds like lion.
No, Rion does not sound like lion, but it looks like the similar spelling.
I would love to find whoever made the names and why'd you name them Rin, Riku, and Rion? Why'd you do one of them? Alright, what overall this series would you recommend?
God, no. No. It's a very poorly written series. It just dangles these things in front of you to make you watch the next episode, but because all you really want to see is the old cast of Inuyasha, but they don't bring it to the end where the writing gets really bad, so they have to counteract it with bringing back old characters. Because no matter what they did, you always love seeing them.
Okay. At what point of the series did it become, was your oh shit moment, this is gonna be a crap show?
I think when I gave in 100% was when Kirin Sensei started having more and more of a role, because it was another aspect being added to this bullshit, and I'm oh no, I can't stand the whole Rion, Riku, and Kirinmaru thing. Now you're adding Kirin Sensei and the Grim Comet Butterfly, fuck all this shit.
I swear to you, there was an episode where Kirin Sensei was oh, the history is changing because they don't know what the Shikan jewel is in modern time, and then we never touch on that again.
Except the gift shop. They'll have the Shikon Jewel gifts, talismans, souvenirs.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, like, did we fix it? Like, I would like that be explained a little. What was your favorite part of the series?
Overall?
Like, there's no, like, obviously, my favorite individual moment was the Inuyasha Moha Kagome reunion. But overall, do you have something that, like, this was my favorite part?
I think my favorite part was when Setsuna died and Sesshomu gave Towa the Tenseiga. Kind of like the family moment we were kind of waiting for in a sense, like passing down something. I just remember that scene being very good, and it was like very artistically done with the whole like raindrop stopping.
Alright.
Clearly I'm the big Sesshomu fan and Annie's the big Inuyasha fan.
Yeah.
And I also like that Miroku and Sango's family in general is still intermingled with the Inuyasha and Sesshomu families.
God, I wish Sesshomu's 100-day training, what, 300 days?
I thought it was 1,000 days.
Might have been 1,000 days, yeah. Actually did something.
We just never got to see it before and after.
Before, in the original Inuyasha anime, after Miroku coming and not really doing much other than twirling his baton stick.
He can do the whole stopping demons and sealing demon blood and stuff like
I
that.
thought he always could stop demons with the talisman.
Well, like, and on like a big mountain scale.
Oh.
With Kagome's help.
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah, you know.
The butterfly net.
Didn't see that before.
Well, never needed it. Oh, well, actually, maybe it could have helped with that one mountain they literally fought.
What's kind of strange is like that this last episode should have honestly been the very first episode of Inuyasha. It should have just been a nice basically an Inuyasha adventure where there's not like all this like useless drama of like their parents or their past. It's just like these three going on a journey, going to like get stronger, and they're doing this on their own, so that's why the parents aren't there, which is fine. Everyone's living their own lives.
Oh yeah, you told me one time your dream premise for Yashahime, if you want to share that.
Oh yeah, because it's kind of like it intermingles what the manga is doing, which apparently one of Miroku Sango's kids gets a gun.
So that's why I had to make Minty stop reading it. I don't like things corrupting her mind.
I am 100% for that. Give them a gun. Because I think what I would have liked was just like, so Towa is the one who gets sent to the modern age and she forgets about Setsuna. And somehow Setsuna Moroha gets Towa back from the modern world and brings her into the feudal era. And they just kind of have an adventure, and Towa is like super excited because maybe she was probably like one of those like bored modern high school kids who like lived in fantasy their entire life, because maybe like Sota was telling her adventures that she heard from Kagome and Inuyasha, and then like, you know, she's good at camping because Sota is obsessed with camping in the manga.
He's not obsessed with camping. He's obsessed with what if he lived in the feudal era instead of Kagome.
I mean, like survival, right?
He's making his fan fiction where he's the Inuyasha instead.
Like, that's just stuff I want to see. Like, I want to see Towa excited to be a modern girl living in the feudal era. Because wouldn't we all want to live in a fantasy world and already have, like, the powers? And, you know, like, she always kind of knew she was, like, different because she had, like, amazing powers. And now she can kind of, like, unleash it. And, like, Setsuna's the one working towards, like, trying to bring back Towa's memories or trying to, like, bond with her sister. But maybe she's just, like, more clumsy at it because she's not in tune with emotions like that. Because maybe she still goes through, like, the rite of courage and cowardice. And then Mora's there just living her life being like, I want to meet the modern girl. I liked my grandparents. They were cool. You know, maybe, like, she's interested in learning more about modern things. And Kagome, too, because Kagome went wild for smartphones. And I'm like, that's how it should be.
I would have loved to see a Yashahime where Sesshomu and Inuyasha still in the picture, but maybe the girls had to deal with an issue that isn't, like, world ending. And the girls are like Setsuna and Towa's like, hey, Sesshomu, can you help us? And Sesshomu's like, nah, do this yourself. And Kagome's like, well, Sesshomu's not helping. Moha, why don't you go help her? And
that would be cool. Like, that's how Moha gets tied into things.
yeah, like, she just has a family obligation, but then eventually it becomes like an actual, these are my nakamas, they're my friends, I want to help them.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
Like, actually make this a power of, you know, cowardice and courage.
Yeah, and then like Miroku and Sango's kids, they're like the NPCs, like they're like helping them like control the demon powers or like giving them better weapons. Or like, hey, if you get me these tools, I can make you the sheath.
And like, there can still be stakes. Like, maybe Towa just randomly goes to Japan and she wants to get back to the modern world, so Setsuna's helping her, but that's why Sesshomu's not helping her, because like, hey, if you want to do this thing, you have to do it yourself.
That'd be so cute. Like, he doesn't want to lose his daughter.
Yeah.
We need a Fix-it-Fic.
Fix-it-Fic. So I would just love to see a Yashahime where we didn't have to put several plot points of why Shishomu and Inuyasha or any of the old cast is here. Like, where's Koga? We didn't even write a reason why we didn't see Koga.
And his bitches.
Yeah, all female wolves. He literally got Moha, shifted her off to someone else, and then we never saw him again. Like, even in the manga, when Moha wasn't raised by Koga, we got to see Koga and Mil.
Wow, that'd be cool.
And you know, I would have loved to see Kaede die in this series.
You know, that's rude.
I wanted her to give a meaningful send-off. She should not be allowed to live to 120. I'm just saying, in feudal Japan, if you want to say you gotta give birth ASAP because we don't know when we're gonna die, don't show me the woman always in danger, living to 100.
She's scared that her bones and grave soil are gonna be used to build, like, herself in, like, a dead body. I was gonna say in her prime, but actually when Kiki was revived, it was just because that's when she died. Could you imagine being an immortal old body? It's not what she wants.
Yeah, to be fair, I just did the math. If Kikyo died, like, let's say Kaede was 10, and then 50 years pass to become 60, then 20 years when Moha and all her crew grows up, she's only like 80.
Young and spry. Not the 120 you were batting at.
I don't know why we give so much shit that the grandpa and Kaede is alive. The only one we should look at is Buyo.
What if the plot of Yashahime in, like, our little time, or in our little dream world, is that they want to reestablish the connection between the feudal and modern era?
Oh my god, let Kagome see her family
Let
again.
Kagome see her family again and her, like, niece.
I thought she said knees, and I was like, yeah, that's true. She did. When she was doing her mini, she could see her knee, but then now with the tweets, you know, I would have loved to see Moha do, like, a new attack combining her holy powers and demon powers.
That'd be hard, though.
It'd be hard, but, you know, like, you literally just took Shishomu's dragon move and made it red for Moha.
Yeah, which I'm like, we didn't see. Did we see Shishomu do it, like, once?
I think once. Once in Yasha, once in Yashahime.
We also should have seen more of them being, like, resistant to poison more. I forget what it was. Like, one was something and the other was something different.
Oh god.
Right? Like,
that episode was a lot.
Huh? I forget.
But yeah, no, in the end, Yashahime would not recommend, and I'm fully 100% convinced they had completely different writers for season 1 and 2 because of too many things in season 1 they disregarded and introduced too many things in season 2 to make important.
No, yeah.
Because I don't think this was Kimimari's motive from day 1, but here we are.
To be fair, he didn't have a motive at all.
God, he's okay. If I had one wish, that's the if I could only have one thing I could change about Yashahime, please make a better villain and don't introduce Rion.
See, I was wondering, how does Kirin, and Zero and Rion would fit into this? Because you can't just make new characters. That'd make it more complicated.
I say in this, fake universe, right? Maybe they just need items, like they need the rainbow pearls to act like a Shikanjo facade, but Zero's like, no, those are mine, and just erase the relation to Toga.
Oh, okay. I mean, we might be able to keep it, but it might not be as strong, or maybe like a personal reason why she won't help them. And maybe Kiyomaru is already working towards going to the future or to the modern era, but like wants to destroy it. So they want to take it from him, one, so he doesn't destroy the modern era, and two, so that they can establish the connection.
Honestly, he doesn't even have to destroy the modern era. It could just be he wants to reintroduce demons in the future.
He wants to be the god of demons in a new world.
Alright, we're going to end this episode just like how we ended Yashahime.
By making a Fix-it-Fic.
I hope you enjoyed us just not talking about the episode and just being in our own fantasy for 20 minutes. That's right, this episode's going to be 20 minutes with me just screaming at the end in case there's a season 3 announcement.
This is gonna end up being like 15.
20 minutes and 5 minutes of me screaming. Goodbye.